it's you, and you feel it with every page of the play. It's quite impassioned. It's called the Normal Heart, and it really wears its heart on its like sleeve. It's on the front page of the whole play. Um, and I think that's what kind of differentiates it from a lot of the plays that I read. Like as you said, Angels in America, which I also thought was inspired by this, right? This kind of pioneer. This is sort of like a pioneering play. So it's yeah, I think that's what makes it a little bit different. It's got a message, and it's quite unabashedly what do you call this?
Agitated.
Yeah, agitative. It trumpets. It wants to stir people up. I think it actually is supposed to make you quite angry at the end of the whole thing. It's it's laid out quite thickly.
And follow-up question with that one is since you said it's like a little bit like activism, will you be adding a little bit like Brechtian stuff there?
Na-
Maybe? I don't
Well,
know.
directorially, what we are looking at is really it's going to be design based. We are going to ask our partners, the health organizations, to also be present to give information about what's happening, A, and B, how you can get involved if you are so inclined. Um, but I think that the play works enough on the level of making you want to change the way things are done. And on that level alone, I think it's valuable. It's a valuable piece. Hindi siya, in other words, finally, what makes it so essential is that it talks about, for one thing, about activism as an important part of moving the human condition forward. In other words, kung hindi dahil sa mga aktivista, wala tayo dito ngayon. Kaya sinasabi niya, paano yan? Tignan mo yung nangyari sa the lesson learned from the Holocaust. Why didn't anyone say anything? And that's what happens when you're not activist. The other question is, should we go to Cebu?
Or other parts.
Or other parts of the country? Sure. Depends on TJ's schedule.
No pressure.
No pressure. No, I'm just kidding. No, if we have a producer, we have partner producers, yes, for sure.
People are from East Coast.
No, we're on. I mean, it sounds like we're angling to do the show there, which we totally are. But he raises a point that there's things going on that people don't like to talk about, that people don't want heard. And yet those are the people that we want to reach out to, not to sermonize to them, not to say don't do it, but for God's sake, be careful. For God's sake, speak up about what you think is important. Because so much is happening below the current, so much is happening that people don't want to talk about, and they're willing to die to keep it that way. And they're more importantly willing for other people to die. So let's go to Baraka and change all that. I'll go first.